Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man's Core channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today, as you can see, I'm in my Santa room because I had another dream that was Christmassy related, and I thought to set the mood, I'd tell it in here. So let's begin. In my dream, it takes place in this month, March, for some odd reason, and we're having a yard sale at my house. Well, my mom walked outside and said she got me a gig to be Santa Claus. I said, "Oh, when is it? Sometime in November, December?" And she said, "No, it's actually today." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Why would they want me today?" And the gig was over at elementary school. I was like, "Oh, great." I said, "I know them little kids are going to be asking me a lot of questions about Christmas in the North Pole, but I figured I know all the stuff by now. I can just wing it, see how it goes, right?" So I got my Santa Claus suit, and it was like one of those Santa suit replicas design that was made back in the late 30s, early 40s by that man, Charles W. Howard, that created the first Santa Claus school. Here, let me show you a picture real quick. This was the Santa suit that I was wearing in my dream, folks. It's a cool looking design, but my beard set was not like this one that Charles is wearing in this picture. Mine was more roundish at the bottom, kind of tapered out this way, and my mustache was a tad bit thinner than his. It didn't look like it was covering my mouth up all the way. I was also wearing glasses too. But anyway, now you know what the suit looked like I was wearing. But since we were having a yard sale, Mom and Dad said they could watch my stuff while I got to do it. Went to the school, and the principal told me that there was already some kids outside on the playground. So I went over there and hanged out with them. And luckily, since it was Friday and it's in March, we had a little bit of a cool breeze come in, and I was wearing a wool Santa suit, so I was glad that I didn't cook up in that thing. But yeah, just hanged out with them, played on the playground, and they asked me a lot of questions. I was able to answer them as how Santa would. Like, how many reindeer do I have? And I said, well, the main team that pulls my sleigh is 9 reindeer. That's including Rudolph. But I got a herd about 100 reindeer at the North Pole. But they do other chores. And then one kid asked if I could do some magic, so I said, "Oh, sure." Got them all huddled up together, and the teachers were all drawn in too because they were acting like little children again, seeing me there. But I kind of did the simple trick where my finger lights up red like Rudolph's nose, and kind of did the whole throwing it around like a ball and throwing it in the kid's mouth to be like, "Okay, now you got extra spirit in you." But then I also did like a magic trick where I pulled out a collapsible top hat and showed them, "Look, there's nothing inside, right?" And then I pulled out a real live bunny and let one of the girls hold them and play with them. And then I pulled out long streamer of bandanas, and everybody was like, "Huh?" And I showed them the hat was collapsible, but it didn't have no secret thing in it. And they were like, "Huh?" Still dumbfounded. And I said, like a magician, I never give away my secret. So I let them continue with resets. I grabbed the bunny back and then put it back in the hat along with the bandana streamers, and then with a snap of my fingers, it disappeared in the hat, and I collapsed the hat back and put it in the Santa bag, and then they were just like, oh, like their mouths were just hanging down wide. Then I got to walk inside and talk with all the other K through second grade kids. But then when time came to talk with the third, fourth, and fifth graders, I realized, okay, I can't be doing all these like simple kiddie party tricks with them. They're a lot more older than these other kids, so they're going to be asking a lot of questions or just want to hang out with old Santa and take photos. So that was actually cool. I actually got to fist bump a lot of teens because they liked what I was doing. But one of them, I tell you what, one of the boys was rude. I was just getting out of the Santa suit and getting my regular clothes on, but I still had my beard and wig set on. My parents showed up and brought me my Cody James gambler hat that you guys saw with the bandana wrapped around it. And they were going to hold on to it until I got done, right? And they told me their yard sale time was already up and they packed up everything. I was like, wow, that was fast. Time flew by when I was over here. But anyway, this one kid that I was just mentioning walked over to me and said that it was funny that I'm actually doing this. I was like, well, what are you talking about? It's not funny. It's a fun experience of being Santa, of course. But they was going like, you're acting like a loony now. I was like, oh crap, here we go. We got one of those non-believers slash bullies. And the teacher saw what was going on, and I kind of gave him a signal like I was about to kick him in the leg with my boot. And I said, well, this is what I do to you non-believers here. Raised my leg up and didn't kick him hard, but just kicked him to where he was like, why would you do that? And the teacher came over and said, I'm glad you did something with that boy because he has been nothing but trouble. And I was like, well, why is he still in school then if he's going to act up? He bullies some of the younger kids and then some his age, and we put him in school suspension or detention and still don't do nothing. And he got up and I kind of sat him down and be like, son, let me tell you something. You're not going to get anywhere acting like this, you know? I got picked on when I was in school. I was picked on because of how tall I was and everything, and what you're doing here is what they did to me. You know what's going to happen to you? You're going to end up being a bully for the rest of your life and then maybe a criminal. Because once you commit an act of violence at a certain age in adulthood, they'll put you away. Is that what you want? And from that moment right there, something in his eyes twinkled and kind of made him change his attitude about everything. He apologized to teachers, other staff members, fellow classmates. I was like, oh, wow. Didn't think I was able to change a person like that. And my parents were like saying, good job, son. You straightened somebody out today. I'm proud of you. I was like, oh, thanks, Mom and Dad. So once everybody was like getting ready to leave, they hid me in a room where I could get this wig of beard set off and then put it away. And my mom and dad already took my suit and Santa bag and other tricks into the car. And I just cleaned my face of like any makeup that made me look like I've been out in the cold too long, and just walked out casually. And they paid me for the whole day $475. I mean, that ain't bad, but hey, it's something. If you wanted to be a professional Santa like I would want to be, and you want one of those higher paying gig jobs, that I would highly recommend trying to get your name out in like commercial gigs or in parades or private corporate events. Because if you go to like a event that's being held at a school or church or middle class family home, then you're not going to get paid that much. But towards the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I would have done it for both in my dream and in reality. Oh, before I end this video, I forgot to mention that the teens in the grades 3 through 5 were just so curious. I think I met a few of them that wanted to be Santa too. I was like, oh wow. Actually bumped into some potential students later on down the line. And that's why they were giving me fist bumps, because they think I was doing a cool thing, spreading kindness and joy to everybody. But then once we got home, I saw everything was packed up, and I just took a shower and got ready for dinner with my folks. And then I woke up. I was like, man, that was a strange dream. Imagine getting a gig for Santa in March. I know some guys that do it year-round might end up doing it, but let's put it this way. There's hardly anything going on with Santa in March. It's always either Christmas and July events, 4th of July maybe sometimes, and then also November, December. And you might see Santa appear like towards late October before Halloween. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications for more dream-related content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Core channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and that's a wrap. And have a nice day, y'all.